Situated just below the North Pole, Iceland and Greenland are neighbours in the North Atlantic, countries where the Inuit people of the West first met the Norse people from the East. Greenland and Iceland may be close to Canada and Europe, but the harsh Arctic climate and the high cost of living means few visitors come here. My journey begins with a stay in the Icelandic capital Reykjavik before I head east to the glacier Vatnajökull. Then it's on to Ammassalik on the east coast of Greenland before heading to Isatok in the south. Then to Nuuk, the capital, and I end my trip in Ilulissat, well north of the Arctic Circle. This is Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. Over half the population live here, and it was the first Viking settlement. And the way they decided that was the captain on the boat chucked over a wooden log, and wherever that laid on the land, so that's where they started this settlement. Reykjavik is a modern European city, good looking and stylish. But you can also take more historic excursions, where you'll find that Icelanders are very proud of their past and their Viking ancestors. Who were the first people to come to Iceland?
Well, they say it was Ingólfur and his foster brother Hjörleifur. They came here because they have heard about it. There were some people lost in the sea and they found this island.
What were the people like, the first Vikings that came here? What sort of people were they?
They were farmers, basically. They cherished their freedom. They cherished friendship very much.
They fierce.
Yeah, when they went into battle, they seem to have had a special technique of going mad.
What influence have the Vikings then got on the people now?
You can feel it by the importance that people carry the names of their fathers and the grandfathers. The old names, they still there. If you have the name Thorstein, you are supposed to be brave.
Right, supposed to be. Yeah.
And probably you want to be, and probably you are.
The Icelandic people are well keen when it comes to machines, but I'll take any mode of transport to get to my destination. Okay, Axel, take it away! I've been waiting ages for a lift to the Blue Lagoon, so I thought I'd get the first ex-Russian fighter plane that came along. There are several companies that charter sightseeing tours from Reykjavik Airport. Iceland's volcanic landscape is rugged and dramatic, with barren lava fields, hot springs and jets of steam spewing from cracks in the earth. hands. Place to be seen at. So what do people in Iceland do in the evening? What's the rooms are all about?
You go out in the street and you meet people and you talk, and if you're going to go to a party, you try to find one. It can take a while.
The government thinks it's best for us to go home to sleep at 3 o'clock. But what we do really is to go to other places and gather. You know, we had the ban on alcohol around the 30s. Then they lifted the ban. They forgot to lift the beer ban.
Beer ban?
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't have...
Smuggling.
We couldn't have any beer in Iceland until 1989.
1989? No beer?
No.
What do you think people think about Iceland from other countries, about people?
They don't know so much about it. I guess they think we're very primitive, still, but we just, like every other European country, I mean, we get things quite fast here. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. We say skål.
Skål.
The next day, I started my journey to the glacier. Well, I was on the way to the glacier. Half an hour ago, the sun was out, so we sat on the plane for about 10 minutes, got kicked off because it was drizzling, and now we've got to wait in here for God knows how long till it takes off. So the plane didn't take off and we had to wait in the terminal for 3 hours, but it didn't matter because I won a bit of loose change at cards. I headed east to Vatnajökull. It's the third largest glacier in the world. It's 40 minutes by plane or 5 hours by bus at only $40. I say 5 hours, but of course it depends on the weather. Freak storms can strike at any time of the year. Well, it's been a bit of a long day. Still not there, but hey, great outdoors. What's happening? Are we walking now? Get them out the back of the van and get this snow out. Come on. I'm helping out. If we all pull together, we'd be out over this in 5 minutes. This is what Icelanders do to pass the time. Made it.
Ríðum, rekum yfir sandinn, rennur sól á bak við Arnarfell.
It's cold, it's wet, it's freezing, and you're here on holiday. Why?
I know that for me, I think Iceland is a country that's captured people's imaginations as children or teenagers because of the sagas and the biggest waterfalls, the biggest glaciers, and all that wide open countryside and serenity.
I thought it'd be a cheap holiday, but it wasn't.
Is it expensive?
No, it's blinking expensive, yes.
You've got to put it with a lot of frustration. Today is a good example. If you expect a flight to take off at 8 o'clock, you can be sure it will, but it'll be 8 o'clock in the evening, not 8 o'clock in the morning.
I've been wanting to come here since I was 16 years old. It's so new, it's volcanic, it's glacial, it's, well, it's just our wilderness.
I think one of the greatest surprises I had was thinking that I was coming to a very obscure place where people wouldn't speak English or were backward, but in fact it's a highly educated people, incredibly cultural. You can in fact stay in Reykjavik, never go out to the wilderness we've just heard about, and still have an incredibly interesting time.
Morning. After that cauliflower soup, got a bit fumy. No respect. And then after a few bottles of wine, it got a bit giggly, didn't it? Someone kept giggling, and we didn't encourage her. Oh. Sometimes you just can't see a thing in Iceland, even the glacier the size of Vatnajökull. the bad weather grounds your flight, stick out your thumb and hitch, because everyone in Iceland has got a car. Oh, hi there. This is Omar Ragmus. He's just given me a lift in this monster truck of his, which is a godsend, because that weather out there is looking dodgy. We didn't see anything in this weather.
We never know what the weather is going to be like in this country. Everything changes so rapidly.
Where are we on the way to?
Gullfoss and Geysir. In Icelandic, Gullfoss and Geysir.
What are they?
Gullfoss means the golden waterfall.
Right.
It's very beautiful. And Geysir is the hot spring that every geyser in the world takes its name after.
And they're pronounced geysers, are they?
Geysir.
We say geyser.
Geysir.
So this is quite an important area.
Yes, it is. This place in Iceland is our Mecca, the holy place for every Icelander.
Gullfoss is a national monument and Iceland's most popular tourist attraction. It's where the river Vita drops 32 meters into a huge canyon. In the summer, it's crawling with tourists. In winter, it's totally frozen over. But in April, you can see it crowd-free. I'll be a bit close. Whoa! Woo!
Yes.
There she blows. Giza shoots boiling water 20 meters into the air every 3 minutes. So wear a hat and stand well back.
Iceland is quite expensive, and certainly anyone coming, I think, has to be a bit careful, otherwise they can easily spend a lot of money.
You have to have quite a lot of protective clothing. We've got fleeces and we've got Gore-Tex jackets and things, and thermal underwear.
Scenery is spectacular, so I wouldn't be put off by the expense. I mean, if you've got time, it's definitely worthwhile.
Many of Iceland's roads are unsurfaced dirt tracks, great for cross-country jeep rallies. If you want to hire them, you need to wear the right gear.
We're not going up there, are we? Oh, no!
Neil Armstrong practices lunar walks in Iceland's volcanic gravel pits, and he said that the moon was a bit of a letdown after this. In Iceland, they say, if you can smell fish, you can smell money. And in some places, it stinks. Well, when you come to Iceland, you've got to taste one of the strange local delicacies. And this is it. What is it, Ollie?
This is shark.
Shark.
Shark meat.
Right. What's it doing hanging up like this?
They let them stay in boxes in 2 months.
2 months in boxes?
2 months in the boxes, yes, and you put the rocks on and let them...
Doesn't it go mouldy?
Yes, let them molding up. And you see, if you eat this meat now, here, it's very, very, very tough. After this 7 months, this is like, what shall we say, a delicious candy.
Delicious candy?
Yes.
Are we going to go and taste some then?
Yes, okay. And take the Black Death with.
The what? The Black Death?
This is a Icelandic potato wine.
Potato wine?
Yes, snaps.
What, and you always have it with rancid shark or something?
Yes.
Mm. So they use all kinds of sharks, yeah?
Yes, all kinds. But in other countries, shark are eating people, but we eat shark.
What have we got here? What's that?
This here?
Yeah.
We have seal hands.
Seal hands?
Then we have testicle from sheep.
From sheep?
Sheep, yes.
Oh.
You must taste this testicles.
I must.
Yes, you must. It's okay.
Mm.
Like some more?
No, thanks. God, what's that? Is that shark?
That's very good.
Let's move straight on to the rancid shark, shall we? Can I just ask, why is this called Black Death?
This is black. But if you,
The death part.
if you drink all this, you are dead. Yes. Yeah, all inside. Yes. And your black test is here to help you.
I mean, I'm not saying it's disgusting. It's just like I'm just not used to it, perhaps. What, and this as well? Mm-hmm. You can swallow it?
Yes.
It's like medicine. Icelanders love their healthy business, especially the mud baths at Kavira Gaudi. This is the best thing after a long trek. Oh, to relax. Ooh, and a lot of sloppy, slimy, smelly mud. Oh, yeah. Ooh, sorry. Oh, God, it's hot in there. Ah, it's roasting.
Yes, it's meant to be hot. Oh, be careful, don't go too close to the side.
Okay.
You can put your head back, relax, there's a pillow behind you.
Pillow. Brillo pad. So is this really good for me then?
This is extremely good for you, yeah.
Yeah? Is there many places like this in the world, or?
In Iceland? This is probably unique, this place here.
Yeah.
In that it's the only place where people will come and reside, you know, in the clinic.
Yeah. Do you not put it all on your face and stuff?
Yes, people do actually. It's very good for your skin. It dries a bit.
It dries a bit?
Yeah, you get a little bit dry, hard skin, but it's extremely good for your skin.
Yeah.
As I said to you earlier, and of course one of the things it will do most, it will increase the blood supply to your skin.
I feel my blood supply increasing. Does that look attractive?
It's gorgeous.
Come. Do I just step out?
Yep. After that match, we'll walk into the shop. We'll go slow. You may be a bit dizzy after this.
I'll catch myself. Oh. Alright, what's it down there? Behave yourself. Only an hour and a half by plane from Iceland, and you reach the east coast of Greenland, the largest island and the most northerly country in the world. You touch down at Ammassalik, population 1,500. They call it Kalanlit Nunat, the land of the people, but 3/4 of the land is pure ice, and the population is a mere 55,000 in a country the size of Europe. I finally made it to Ammassalik, and here there's 3 types of accommodation. 1, it's expensive hotels, so they're out. 2, it's free to camp anywhere. 3, you can get invited into people's houses and stay there. It's a good way to meet people. Well, the good thing about it is you get to taste the food that everyone else eats as well. That's the good part. What have we got here, Ali? What's this food?
The food is seals.
Seals?
Yes.
Yeah, all of it. Greenland has been home to the Inuit since they crossed the Bering Strait from Alaska thousands of years ago. The Inuit, or Eskimo people, have an ancient culture. At first, nomadic, they have survived thousands of Arctic winters. Delicious. What's delicious?
Mamakayo.
Mamakayo. Right, I'm going in. That's the only bit to come off. Oh, Mamakayo. Yep, straight down, raw. Seal liver. Don't you just love it? The Inuit people have been using dog sleds like this for centuries, and it's still an important part of their culture. And in Greenland, if you're travelling overland, this is the only way to go. They've also got right of way to anything on the snow, and I'm not surprised. Ammassalik is the only place to go dog sledding south of the Arctic Circle. Any excursion involves a lot of walking and pushing in deep snow, so you have to be really fit. This isn't cheap. A dog sled and driver cost about $150 a day to hire, but it's money well spent. I might look like I'm pushing, but I'm just hanging on. Once they start running, the dogs will only stop for seal meat, bad driving, or a fight with the opposition. Greenlandic dogs work for at least 9 months a year. They're not pets, and domestic animals are not allowed north of the Arctic Circle in case they interbreed and weaken the pedigree. Just over there, that's where it is. All this way for 2 huts. Sorry, 3 huts. Doesn't look like anyone's in. Oh, yeah. They're nicking everybody's food.
You.
Well, this is it.
You.
Wow. That journey was awesome. Really was. At the tiny settlement, I got my first view of the towering icebergs and the pack ice slowly moving southwards. You have some serious gear when you come out here, because it can go from blizzard to sun in about 5 minutes. So loads and loads of layers, and then total sunblock. Yeah. The only bad thing about this trip is you've got to go back up the hills. There's no roads in Greenland, so the only way to get around is by air. This is the local taxi, but the trouble is, goods are more important than people, so you might lose your seat to a large packet of dog biscuits. The only way to get to the real remote spots is by helicopter, and they're expensive, nearly $2,000 an hour. I was heading to Isatok, a small piece of land in the fields of the southwest coast. This is the site of Greenland's only reindeer farm. In exchange for some hard labour, you can stay with Stefan, the owner. As soon as I'd arrived, Stefan grabbed the gun and made for the door. Skidoos are banned in some parts of the country because they're in danger of making dog teams redundant. But they have their uses. Stefan is an Icelander who settled here 10 years ago. He makes his living farming a herd of 2,000 wild reindeer. We're out hunting reindeer. One was spotted on the ice, but we can't see it now.
They're coming right there. Right. The wind is coming from here.
So it won't smell us.
It won't smell us. I got him in the heart.
Yeah, blimey. Oh, there it goes. Reindeer, along with seal, is a staple food in Greenland. The herds are wild, and out here, Stefan has little else to eat.
That.
Yeah. And then what do you do? Cut its throat or so?
Yeah, well, then we slit the throat to let the blood run out.
Yeah.
And then we tie the esophagus, which I'm just about to do right now.
Tie the what?
Esophagus. That brings the food.
Right.
The food that the reindeer has been eating is partially digested in there.
Yeah.
And it's going to throw up in a little while. Accumulation of gas is going to start inside the intestines. So we have to tie this before we start to slaughter it.
Right.
If you don't do that, you will have a poor quality of the meat.
Right.
I would like to drag it to a nice clean snow.
Okay.
To do the butchering. It's much better.
Is this the stomach then?
Yeah, this is the main stomach.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all just plant fibers that the animal has been devoured on the grazing. So you can see this is actually that.
Right.
Yeah. In the older days, when the people in this country, they didn't have any vegetables, this was a form of vitamin source from green.
Vitamin source?
Vitamin source, yes.
So they'd
from
eat
vegetables,
this?
like, yeah, vitamin C, and they would eat it, yeah. They would actually eat it.
Like a side salad or something?
Yes. Yeah, like a side salad or something like that.
So it's good for vegetarians then?
Oh, yes.
Have you had some?
Oh, yes. I eat it all the time.
Is it nice?
Yes, you have a taste.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just go ahead, have a taste. Yeah, it tastes good. It's good for you. Full of vitamins. I'm just spoofing you.
Well, you don't... Funny guy, you're a funny guy, you should be on telly. Traditional Inuit ice fishing is easy to do, but you need to buy a non-resident license from a tourist office, hotel or police station.
Yeah, this is Arctic char. You can actually see them down there.
Is it not dangerous? You're not going to go through the ice?
But that's it.
So clear, it's unbelievable. How come they don't cotton on? Oh, it's biting it.
Ah, he got another one.
So what's this?
This is reindeer steak.
Free range.
Free range,
Yeah.
organic.
No additives and that.
No additives or medicines or medicaments to keep them alive, you know, they just graze on their own.
Yeah.
Winter time they graze on lichens, And the summertime they graze on everything green that grows around here.
And then you graze on them.
Then I graze on them, yeah. I am the last predator. I'm the last predator in the chain.
I flew to the capital, Nuke, but in summer you can also get here by ferry, which serves the whole of the west coast of the country. This is Nuke. It's the northernmost and smallest capital in the world. See that tower block? 1% of the whole country lives in there. Greenland is part of Denmark, but has limited self-rule, and 20% of the population are Danish. But the official language is Greenlandic, which is very similar to the Inuit dialect of North Canada and Alaska. It's a multi-syllabic language and hard to pronounce, especially for the likes of me. What's that? Taneatic? Yeah? Hey, get the hang of this, don't ask me again. No? Go and get an easier one. One at a time. Tatura. What's it? Tururia. This is impossible. I mean, my English is bad anyway. I'm trying to learn Greenlandic. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. At the local museum in Nuuk, you can find out more about the traditional Inuit culture. And Lika, a local guide, showed me around. And Lika, can you tell me about these mummies?
This mummies are from Qilakitso, an area where I'm from, in Umana.
Yeah.
They were found there in 1972.
And how old do they think these are?
They're 500 years old.
Really?
Freeze-dried mummies, yes.
Freeze-dried?
Mm-hmm.
What they've just found in the ice?
They were found under a cliff in the mountains.
And they were preserved like this?
Yes.
Do they know who they are?
Probably not. But they are coming from the area where I'm from, so that means they might be my ancestors.
Really?
500 years ago, because
God.
we're not that many.
Are they men, women, or?
All these here are women. There were only found 6 women and 2 children, 2 boys.
Wow. So how do they think they died?
They think that it's only a theory, that they have been maybe falling off from a woman's boat, and they drowned because they're only women and no men.
Right. The kayak is the ultimate Inuit creation, turning man into seaborne predator. Are the Inuits the first people to invent kayaks, or?
Inuit were the first people in the world that had the kayak. And Inuit people have always been using it in hunting seals and from fishing from there, hunting whales.
How can you hunt a whale on this? I mean, how does that work?
The animal doesn't know that you're coming because it's soundless. It doesn't make any sound. And if you put a white cloth in front, the animals or the seals think that you are a piece of ice.
And are these like traditional kayaks based on the old way of making?
Each kayak is built different because I am taller than you. That means you need another size. The measures are not measured through inches and centimeters. It's measured through how long you are from your elbow to here. That's why we always say that in old times when people have been falling or died from a kayak hunting, that he has been borrowing someone else's kayak because it doesn't have the same balance that he has.
Find something funny, do you? At the local kayak club, you can rent a kayak and get lessons as well. But I couldn't believe that they made me carry my own kayak. It's a bit small. The only people left who hunt whale by sea kayak are in the far north of Greenland. But in Nuuk, every Sunday afternoon, the locals practice their ancient kayak skills. So how's it going? I was out to try my hand at an Eskimo roll. Perfecting the roll manoeuvre is vital in the event of capsizing. Most Greenlanders have never learnt to swim. The sea is dangerously cold. 3 minutes in this water and the body begins to shut down.
Easy. Look, you're looking up there.
I've got to look up there, yeah? Like that. Yeah? Is that cool?
Yeah. Over here.
Oh, right out there?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, look up there.
Oh. Cool. Oh! Charlie Farley, man. Nearly?
A little bit better.
Yeah, a bit better. This is it. Just going under the water for a little while. That is cold! Oh! Oh, I did it. Oh! Bravo! Thanks, gents. The Greenlandic economy is still based on fishing, but it was the European fleets which depleted whaling stocks, not the Inuit fishermen. So what is the name of these fish?
That fish is called nibisek. Nibisek means the one that's sticking.
The one that's sticking?
And it's very especially good for now because we catch it only in springtime.
Yeah.
And we start to eat it raw from this pond.
You start to eat it raw?
Yes, we always eat it raw. During the lunchtime, you pick your own sandwiches in London.
Yeah.
We pick our nibisek for lunch and we eat it raw like this.
Really?
Yes.
Does it stink the office out?
No, it doesn't. It really stink. And it's very tasty and it's very healthy.
Yeah.
Gives you a long night.
If I went back to London and had one of these slapped on the table for lunch,
yes,
wouldn't go down too well. Doesn't smell. North of the Arctic Circle, icebergs rule the sea. Millions of years old, and some the size of small islands. They float down the coast every year. The oxygen trapped in the layers turns them blue. My final destination was Ilulissat in Disco Bay. Ilulissat was one of the first places settled by the Inuit. Now it's the transport centre for the north of Greenland, with direct flights to the whole of the country. At $40 a night in the summer, the steel igloos don't come cheap, but on a clear day you can see all the way to Disco Island. You can hire cross-country skis from the tourist office, but remember that conditions can change very quickly and temperatures are well below freezing, so take the appropriate kit and always go with an official guide.
Right, Uno.
Yeah, hello? Hi. How's it going? I've got all the gear, I'm all ready. Yes. This is Uno Fleischer. He's taking me out on the frostbite safari on cross-country skis, and we're going to stay out in a little ice hole, apparently. So we go? Which way?
We go into the ice fjord.
Right. Let's rock and roll. Ono's great uncle was Greenland's favourite son, the Arctic explorer Knud Rasmussen. He was born in Ilulissat in 1879 and began his career as a writer, studying the traditional Arctic cultures. So what's the coldest it gets here in winter?
And in the winter time, sometimes minus 35 colors in most months.
Minus 35?
Yes, but today is only minus 10.
Only minus 10?
Only minus
That's good, is it?
Yes,
it's warm.
It's good to travel in here.
Yeah? I always travel in minus 10.
Warm.
Rasmussen led historic expeditions travelling to all the Inuit communities across Greenland, Canada and Alaska, sleeping in snow holes for months on end. Whereabouts are we going to build this hole? Oh no?
Picture we built here.
Yeah? What are we going to use?
You can choose a piece of tree over there.
Piece of tree?
I can choose my pot.
What, that specially handcrafted shovel? How long's one of these going to take?
2 hours.
Oh, so you have a tea break?
It's frozen.
It's frozen. You've been out here before, haven't you? The igloo is an Alaskan invention. Here the hunters sleep in ice holes, their only chance of survival from the cold, as the temperature drops to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Ono has spent many years of his life in the Arctic wilderness, following in the footsteps of his great uncle. Those flash restaurants, isn't it? This is just fat, is it?
It's a fat from the seal. It's delicacy in Greenland.
And are there people that explore still now or go on long journeys?
Yes, I have made a trip 1992, the same route from Greenland to Alaska.
You followed Rasmussen's route. Why did you do the trip?
I visited the people and tried to make a contact with those people. Because we are the same people, we have same language, we live in the same way.
Well, this is the place to finish my journey, inside an ice hole. Nice, cosy and warm. No polar bears, are there? Out there?
No, I don't think so. Maybe not tonight.
Right, come on then.
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh. Freezing. Well, I don't know what I can say. Iceland, Greenland, there ain't even words that come close.